boy, the bar is open. Woohoo! Oh, hello, everyone. Hello. Happy Friday. Happy Friday night, the beginning of your weekend. Wow. It's been a kind of a short week, I guess. I only worked 3 days. I worked Monday, Wednesday, and today. I actually took off Tuesday, and then, well, yesterday was Thanksgiving for us in America, so I had that day off. Anyway, so, hey, JD, what's up? Good to see some people filing in. That's awesome. What's up, Bob? It's Friday night. Do you know where your favorite skeptics are? Right here. Oh, hi, Diane. What's up? All right. So let me get to it. Let me jump right in here. Tonight is, let's see. While I go over the rules for first timers, please sound off. Let me know where you are, where you're from, what you're drinking, especially. Hey, Donna. Donna's in the house. What? So rule number 1, for those of you new to the show, or you just like hearing me go over the rules, this show is open to paranormal related questions. So you can ask any question about paranormal topics, ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoot. I do mostly ghosts. I do ghosts. But you can ask all these questions if you want to. That's fine. I will give you my skeptical opinion in return. And it might not always be the opinion that you want to hear, but at least it opens discussion. Hey, Bill. What's up, Bill? Rule number 2 is that I don't know everything. Please understand that. I know most of you do. Some people, I know there's been a couple newcomers that come in and ask me questions, and they're like, why don't you know it? Well, let's go. Let's do it. I honestly don't know everything. I try. I really try, but I am not a know-it-all, despite what some people say about me. So if I don't know what you're talking about, I'll certainly look it up. And if it's something we can address within a few minutes, then definitely we will do that. If not, then I will write it down. Uh-oh. Where is my notepad? Oh, wait. Where's my, you know what? I have so much shit on my desk that I don't even know where my notepad is. I'll have to use this one. I have a little one. I will write it down and I will get back to you. Hey, this is Tom's World. What's up, JD? And rule number 3. Rule number 3 is basically be like Patrick Swayze. Be nice. That's it. Don't be a dick. Just be nice. This show promotes friendly conversation, discussion, and I see it every week. It's really cool. I love seeing that in the chat room. Wow, my chair is really low. There we go. I'm up a little bit. There you go. Now I'm tall. Whew, like a big boy. So anyway, yeah, this show is about friendly discussion and conversation, so people can talk out their beliefs or different points of view and have fun doing it. So let's keep it that way. It's pretty cool. So, what's this, Bob? What are you saying here? Do ghosts? ? Is that a tagline for a new show? Sexy paranormal. Maybe that'll be an offshoot where I'm like, "Sup, man? How you doing?" All right. So tonight's theme. We do have a theme tonight because I don't have a guest. I thought about getting a guest, but by the time I actually thought about this theme, it was way too late to jump in. Someone is coming into my room here. Oh my goodness. And giving me I've been handed a book. I don't know why.
Is it your book?
No.
That's not your notebook?
That's not my notebook. I think Donna just wanted to come in and say hi. Say hi real quick. Say hi. Say hi. Jump in. There she is. All right. Hey, Hell 21's here.
Not the right notebook.
Not the right notebook. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. So tonight's theme. I'm drinking, by the way, Kraken. Because you guys know I love Kraken. And that's what's in here. And I actually started a little bit early tonight because last week I had so many complaints. Like, I couldn't believe how many complaints I had. Not really complaints, but comments. We'll go with that. That I was way too sober for the show. I was like, wow, does that mean I have a problem or what? Because I don't know how to take that. But anyway, I started early because I got home a little early, and here we go. What's cracking? Is that like what's cracking lacking? Kraken rum. Kraken dark black rum. It's a spiced rum. It's awesome. I don't know if you've never had it, but it's good. I love it. I love it. All right, so tonight's theme, we're going to be talking about talking boards, like Ouija boards, talking boards, that kind of thing. If you haven't noticed, I redecorated a little bit in the background here, and basically, it's on my list. It was on my list of topics where, like, I'm sitting at home or whatever I'm doing. I'm like, all right, this would be a good topic to talk about on the show, and I write it down on a list. And since I really didn't know what I was going to do tonight, I just went through and I was like, oh, this is the first one. Let me talk about Ouija boards. So, basically, I want to put out a disclaimer first and foremost that I am not an expert on talking boards, on the history or anything like that. I've done some research on it. I do have my cheat sheet here with information that I'm going to borrow from the Museum of Talking Boards, which is a great place. If you want to know a little bit more history or go more in depth, I definitely suggest you go here to the Museum of Talking Boards. It's online. It's a very good site. It's very detailed and it has a lot of old boards, and you can just explore the history of this fascinating kind of, I would call it art. I really would call it art. I mean, some of these things are really cool. We got Bob's board. Bob, you have a board. Look, Bob. That's fun. We can talk about that later if you want. So let me go through here. What do we have? Tom says, okay, we need to have a sobriety intervention for Kenny. Okay, come on over. We can have a party. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of history, just like highlights. Nothing big. I really didn't have time. I thought I'd have more time at work to go through this, but unfortunately, I had to work when I was at work, so I didn't have too much time. So while I'm going through this, feel free to post some questions in the chat room or your experiences. If you've played with a Ouija board, and just let's start off with that. Ouija is a brand name. It's not the actual. That's not what they're all called. They're actually called talking boards, but Ouija is a brand name owned by Parker Brothers. And but if you've had experiences like that and you want to talk about it, as long as you can type it like in a couple lines in the chat room, we can put it up there and talk about it a little bit. Maybe if you've had some weird things happen and you're not sure how to explain them, put them in there and we can all discuss it and maybe come up with some alternative ideas. So that would be cool. Or if you have questions about the Ouija board or what I thought or theories or ideas or whatever, feel free. Put them in the chat room. So basically, what I'm finding out is that the Ouija board, I'm going to call it a Ouija board because it's my generic name. That's what I call it. The history of it is pretty much its evolution, really. I mean, it started out with, we can trace most of spirit communication, the hardcore spirit communication, back to the Fox sisters. When they started doing their pseudo seances, their little seances where they were talking to Mr. Splitfoot. And it grew from there. Other people that claimed to be mediums where they would talk to spirits, there was like this evolution of tools to use so that you weren't just doing a seance where the medium was the focus of everyone's attention. There were other people that wanted to get in on it or do it yourself kind of thing, where you wouldn't have to hire a medium to come out to the house and do a seance. You could do things yourself. So it really started with stuff moving behind me. Ooh. Let me know if any freaky shit goes on behind me because I'm not always looking at the screen. So anyway, some of the spirit communication with writing actually started with a basket. There was a basket with a pencil that was shoved through it, and the basket would be pushed around. And either the medium would put their hands on it and, I guess for lack of a better word, activate it, activate the communication between them and the spirit, and then it would allegedly write out messages. That kind of thing, that little device developed into what we know as a planchette shape. like something like this, where it had what it had? It had some gears on it, right? Let me see. Rotating coasters or casters on the bottom, and it had a pencil in the tip here, actually, where this leg would be. And you would put your fingers on it. People would sit around and put their fingers on it, and it would do the same thing. It would actually write out responses, which, I mean, to me, that's actually better, as long as the ghost had good penmanship. You know, that's actually better than using a board, because they're actually going to write out the message, and it wouldn't, you know, not all over the place. So that actually developed into other things, until eventually, I believe, let me get this right here. I think the first mention of what we would consider the modern talking board or Ouija board, came in 1876, specifically December 18th, 1876, in a issue of American Spiritualist magazine, where there's a full description, and I'll post a link to the history in the comments, as soon as I get a chance here, so you guys can look at this a little bit more. But there's a full description, and it's all of this up here with a little sketch here. But the full description actually describes writing out the alphabet, writing out numbers, and using a planchette to point to the letters and numbers to spell out messages. So that's the first written account that I could find, which is really cool. Let me take a break here and address a question, because I saw, let's see, Bob had a question. Let me see if I can answer that now. Bob says, that you know of, are there any talking board companies that do not claim it is a toy? If so, what do they market it as? So for companies like real companies, I don't know. I think Parker Brothers has the big one with Ouija, and their design has changed over time. So it had like this was the original design, the William Flood board, and then it changed to, let's see, it actually changed to the glow in the dark one, which is this one, and it has a glow in the dark planchette, which is this one, which is really cool at night. And then they actually went to this one, which is a newer board, smaller, doesn't have William Flood on it at all, and it has this light up one. Let me turn the light out so you can see this. See the blue? That's really cool. And I'm here. I'm going to show you this. This is really cool. I don't know if this will work, but let's see. Oh, there it goes. Let me see. It actually spells out, you can see hidden messages with the light. So I think it's like a UV light, like a black light kind of effect. Let me see if there's something else here. Where's the message? I don't know. It might be hard to see because of the light from the screen. So I don't know if that's actually going to work. I'll try and post pictures later. So any companies that I know that doesn't claim that it's a toy, I don't know. Big companies know. Smaller venues, like when I get the more custom designs, the smaller ones from like little vendors at paranormal conferences and stuff, they, so far as I know, my interactions, they've never sold it or marketed as a toy. It's always a spirit communication device. So most warn me about it, like, oh, you don't know what you're opening and stuff like that. And we can get into those ideas later. But the big companies, no. It's always been marketed as a toy with that little question, you know, like, it's a toy, but is it? But the smaller vendors and the customizers, no. Most of the time I come across them, they claim more it's a communication device. So, all right, moving on. So the first written account that I found was 1876, and then let's see, that was not actually for a mass-produced board. This description here from 1876, it was more or less, this is what you do. You can actually paint it on a table if you want it, like a regular table. It has to be smooth, and then you actually paint it, the letters and numbers on there. Made your own board, do it yourself one. It wasn't until 1886, 10 years later, that the New York Tribune actually put a story out saying that it had become really, really popular and that people were making them, beginning to make them. And I think there was like a small company that started to make them, but never patented. They didn't patent it. And it was Elijah Bond that finally patented the first Ouija board in February 10th, 1891. So he was the first one to actually put a patent on it. There's other boards before that, though, which is really interesting to know, because they were called witch boards, and there was, what was it called? The W.S. Reed Toy Company of Massachusetts put out a device strikingly similar to the new planchette. And the new planchette in here means the Ouija board, the talking board. So that was in 1886. And then again, 4 years later, Elijah Bond actually patented the entire thing. And then he teamed up with Charles Kennard, and they did the Kennard Toy Company. So they started producing that until, and this is going to be short history. There's a lot more involved with this that I just can't get into in the scope of this show. Pretty soon, William Fudd had been hired. He was taken on as a kind of an apprentice, it looks like. And then it looks like in 1897, he leased the rights to the Ouija board and then developed his own board. And he was the one that really rocketed the marketing campaign for it. And they sold millions. It actually says Williams sold millions of Ouija boards. Millions. I don't really think they're so dangerous if he sold millions, and there's millions out there. So, and it was actually funny because let's see, they don't give a year, but William Fudd was interviewed about what he thought about the Ouija board. And his response was that he was Presbyterian and didn't believe that it was a medium of communication with departed spirits. But at the same time, he thought that the Ouija was a reliable advisor in matters of business and personal life. And he actually goes on to explain something more or less like a psychological effect where basically you know the answers, and it's much easier for you to ask yourself the question. And instead of just actually talking to yourself, you're still talking to yourself, but the other half that's talking is doing it through the board, which seems like just a hard way of talking to yourself. And unfortunately, in February 1927, William Fudd had an accident, and he passed away. He died from an accident at one of the factories in Baltimore. And then his kids took over. Let's see, in 1966, the kids retired and sold the business to Parker Brothers, who has had it ever since. And that is my quick thing. Let's see. Oh, there's a few more notes I highlighted. Let's see. In early 1999, after 33 years, Parker Brothers stopped manufacturing the classic Fudd Ouija board and switched to a smaller, less detailed glow-in-the-dark version. This one. And then, let's see. After that, they had the tagline, "It's only a game, isn't it?" Ha, that's funny. Then in 2008, this is fun. This is really fun. 2008, they introduced the controversial pink one, which is this one. Let me make sure I don't break anything. So this one, I actually had the bag too that went with it. Hold on a second. Stay there. Don't go anywhere. Here's the pink bag that went with it. And I think I might have the cards that are still in here. Let me see. Oh, yep. There's the planchette. Nice pink one. And then this one, this is why it's my favorite. It came with cards. So in case you weren't like ready to ask questions, it came with cards. So you could actually pick them, and they had questions on them. Would you do anything for me? Will I ever be a famous musician? Let's see, what else? What else we got? Oh, there's one I want to know. Will I be rich someday? If I could trade places with any famous person, who would it be? And it goes on and on. There's probably about, I would say, like 50 cards in here. It's very stylish, don't you think? It's totally me. Totally me. All right, so that was that. And then, let's see, they did, in 2013, they Parker Brothers again changed it by going a little darker. And that came with the, rid of that, came darker with this one. And this has the UV light, which there are hidden messages on this board that you read with the UV light, which is pretty cool. Again, I don't think you can actually see them. I see it because of the lights in here are too bright. But pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. So now that I gave you a little bit of history, let me get into some of the questions. Let me try and catch up here because I see there's a lot of comments. And I'm sorry that I was ignoring the questions, but I wanted to get through the history first and maybe give you fuel for other questions that would come up. So, and do me a favor, like Bob's doing. If you do have a question, please put the letter Q, capital Q first, and then your question, because that helps me differentiate between you guys having conversations in the chat room and then questions that are actually directed towards me. Wow, I need a shave. Damn. All right, so Bob's got another question here. Oh, wait, no, that was the question that I read already. All right, let me keep going. And, oh, Carol says, poltergeist. So what did you guys say? That did the chip challenge actually move? I don't know. I don't actually see what fell behind me, but let me move this out of the way because I know I'm going to hit that. All right, so Tommy. Hey, Tommy, how you doing? From YouTube. He says, I've got a friend who says he was in a room with a talking board that was either broken or burned, and he swears he saw a black form come out of it. I don't know what to even say to him about it. Wow. First of all, I love your profile picture. I think that's really cool. Second, I've heard a lot of stories about this that are similar to this, where people say that something came out of the Ouija board. And I have these. Let me get this out of the way. I have all of these ones, including my favorite one, the drinking board. That's my favorite board, but that's not a Ouija board. But I have all of these, plus different versions. This one back here is an adult party Ouija board or talking board. Definitely much different than your normal one. But I also have maybe like 7 or 8 others on the floor over here, plus a few more down in the basement. I've had them all out, and nothing has ever happened. I've always tried to, I guess I'm challenging it because I want something to happen, and I've never seen anything come out of the board. I've heard stories about shadow figures or other things like smoke kind of coming out of the board, but I've never actually seen it. There's never been pictures or video, or at least none that were legit. But otherwise, yeah, that's a little hard to get into because we don't know. We'd have to actually be there or get more detail from what's going on. And even if it's broken or burned, I mean, I don't know if somebody's going to ask that later on, but I've also heard that story about you can't burn a board, which is, to me, it's kind of silly. I don't get it because I've burned one. I've set one on fire. It burned because, I mean, they're made of just, usually it's like cardboard or compressed board, compressed cardboard or particle board. These new ones are I think this is just compressed cardboard or plywood, as opposed to these ones. These are good, solid wood. I like them, the old ones. They're really good. All right, so I don't know if I kind of answered your statement there or not. We'd have to get more detail, but if you're looking to say like, or looking for an answer like what you should tell him or what you could say to him, I would say describe it. Describe more detail. What did you actually see? A black form, like what's that mean? Besides black, what does form mean? Because I mean, this is a form. This is a form. She's a form. What's we need more detail on that. So I would definitely ask for more details. All right, let me move on here. Oh, Robert says my one chip challenge moved. One chip challenge moved. Maybe because that's if anything's a demon, that thing is. Oh my god! If you guys haven't seen the one chip challenge episode, why can't I say that? One chip challenge episode that I did with JD. Oh my god, go watch it. And I mean, even if you want to just skip to the end, I think the last half hour of that show, it's funny because you get to watch us suffer. Let's see. Oh, they're ready. They're here. They're here? Yes. I wish they would. I still have the Blinky doll. So I'm waiting for her to she's over here because I needed room for the Ouija boards. So I'm waiting for her to blink with me. I have been doing staring contest, but she doesn't blink. So, oh well. All right, let me move on here. Stacy says, "Dude, what happened to my top fan page? I don't know. Are you slacking? I'm not sure. It might be if you're I don't know if you're looking on because I'm not streaming to every platform that I have. I'm only streaming to a few and then sharing it. I'm streaming to WLFE -DB network and then my I Am Kenny Biddle page and then my YouTube channel. So if you were watching before on a different page, then that might be why it's not there. How do you become a top fan? Donna asked. Well, you gotta watch. You gotta be here all the time. So every Friday night, I expect you to be right there, listening to me babble on. Oh, and Donna says you have to be the most active fan. It says, oh, okay, all right. So let me keep going. There's nice. Here we go. My buddy Josh. What's up, Ticker? Ticker says, don't even get me started. I made a whole video on Hasbro's 8+ family game. Questions on the back like, does Jimmy know? I like him. Who told him? And I'll get soccer. What a joke. He actually sent me a video. Ouija spells fun. He says, check out this video I made when you have the chance. A bit outdated, but fun. I'll have to look at it later. Oh my goodness. Have you had any experiences, Ticker? Have you played with the Ouija board? Any freaky things happen? I know if anybody has had weird things happen, it's gotta be you. It's gotta be. All right. Let me keep going. Magic 8-ball board. I do have a Magic 8-ball. Where's that at? Somewhere. I have a few of them around here. I was actually going to come up with a Biddle board because I thought, like, I love Ouija boards so much. I love talking boards. I think they're really cool. And I really want to come up with a Biddle board. So if you guys have ideas about what I could include on the Biddle board, besides rum, because that's just a given, let me know. And I'll start working on it. Maybe I'll work on it the next couple of weeks and see what's going on. Let's see. Why am I freezing up? That's not good. Josh says toy, quote unquote, toy Ouija boards are like the Zach Baggins of boards. Oh, Josh, you're so funny. Let's see. Tarot card. Oh, Hal21 says tarot cards are great for that too. I have a whole bunch of tarot cards. I would reach over there, but then you would just see how fat I am if I reach over there. But I do have a stack of tarot cards that I've played with. I probably have maybe 24 sets. And I mean, unfortunately for me, they're pretty much the same as a Ouija board. It's pretty much interpretation and what you want to do. I don't really put too much stock in them. Even though I've had I've had my cards read. I guess that's what you call it. I have had my cards read, and it's funny. Like I've done it. There was one time when I went 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row, and had my cards read, all within like an hour or two, and they were all completely different stories. Donna says Ouija boards were always fun hanging with friends in the middle of the morning when you were all overtired. That's when fun things happen. Yeah, because you were all overtired from not sleeping and getting drunk all night. Because I know she was an alcoholic when she was young. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to get in so much trouble for that. Carol Love says, we had one back in the late 60s. It said I would marry John. I've never even dated a John. Yes, make jokes. I used to play. Oh, here's the planchette for my drinking game. I actually got this one from my friend Rick Fisher, who ran a museum out in Lancaster area of Pennsylvania, and he got this for me, which is really, really cool. I love it. Oh, I'm gonna play this later. So I've played with them. I've actually played a few times when I've gotten together with friends and played with them, but nothing has ever happened. There was one time. So I had a bunch of friends come over, and we did like a testing night where it was me, Mitch, Steph, Kat, Jesus, and Donna. And we were all there. We were all taking turns, but playing with it and trying to figure out, okay, what could make this planchette move? What could do it that not spirit-wise or ghost-wise, but what physical factors could actually make this move or seem like it's moving? And the number one thing that we found after a few hours of playing with it was fatigue. When you're actually holding your arms up on the table, because you're not supposed to put your elbows down, because if the planchette moves, you got to follow it. So you don't want your elbows sliding. So you keep your elbows up all the time, and you get fatigued. It's very easy within like 2 or 3 minutes to get fatigued, and it could be shorter than that. It could be longer than that. But as you get fatigued, you drop your arms a little bit, and if you drop your arms, that little change is enough to break the what is it? Break the surface tension of the planchette legs with the board, especially because most of them have felt tips on the legs, and it's easy to break that tension, that surface tension, and make it slide. So once that tension was broken and it started to slide a little bit, we found that everybody kind of went along with it. Until somebody else, you were outstretched enough where you stopped. And we found that was the number one cause. The biggest thing was, though, it didn't go back and forth around the board. It usually went in one direction and stopped. Either it stopped when someone reached the end of their travel or their reach, or it went off the board. So we didn't have anything going around like crazy spelling out messages. I really was hoping something like that would happen, but it never did. Let's see. Stacy says, my sister and I tried it once and ran out of the room when it shifted slightly. How old were you when this happened? Because I know, like, when you're playing when you're kids, teenagers, or even younger than that, and you have one, and you're playing with it, yeah, it can be scary, especially if you watch like a horror movie or something scary, or you're telling scary stories and you're getting yourself in the mood. Yes, I'm sure that playing with one and having the planchette like move slightly would set you off, because you're not expecting it. Whoever's playing with you they're not expecting it, and it's very easy to be like, oh shit, that scared the hell out of me. I remember doing it once. I was at what was it? We were at a friend's house. This was probably like I think it was during high school. We were at a friend's house. It was me and a couple other guys, and our girlfriends had all stayed over one of the girls' houses. And it was the next morning. We went over early, and we were hanging out, and they're all playing in the driveway. So it's outside. And if you hung out the front window, they had 2 windows that opened up and you could hang out and look down. You look down straight down at the board. So, being who I am, I decided to fill up a water balloon. And it was, let me say, I almost busted something inside of me when I laughed so hard, because as they were asking questions and they were like, give us a sign. And that was the question I was waiting for. As soon as they said, give us a sign, I dropped the water balloon. Boom, hit the planchette. I mean, it was spot on. Hit the planchette. Boom, burst all over the place. Scared the fuck out of everyone. Oh my God. I'm going to laugh about that all night now. I'm going to think about that. That's great. Good times. Good times. Oh, Stacy married a John. Maybe that message that Carol got was for you. All right, let me catch up here. 9:20. Wow, I'm like 17 minutes behind on the comments. Let me try to catch up here. John was a popular name when we played as well. Exactly, Donna. I mean, that's one of the things that we have to look for when you start asking for names. And then, I mean, this is true for like Ouija boards or tarot cards or psychics, mediums and stuff. When they start giving names, you have to look for the popular names. What's common? So John, yes, John is a very, very common name. So I wouldn't be too impressed if somebody said, "Oh, I see a John." I'd be like, "All right, I see lots of Johns." Yeah, narrow it down. Give me a last name. That would be great. I always wondered that. Like, they get the first name, but the last name is always just not there. Bob asks, why was it controversial? And I'm assuming you mean this board. And I don't have an official statement on why this is controversial, but I'm pretty sure that the idea was that when was this was released in 2008. So Ouija boards already had a bad rap, especially with your religious communities and stuff. So to market a board directly to young girls, complete with all those questions, and some of those questions, I read some really lame ones. Other questions when I went through the deck were like, what boy likes me? How do I get this boy to go out with me and stuff like that? So you can imagine the kind of answers that might come up with, if you have friends that are dicks. So to market, I guess, exclusively to young girls, I think was the controversy, because it was like, all right, this is not for everyone, or it's not marketed to everyone, which again, like religious groups, I'm sure had a problem with these anyway, but to target young ladies specifically, I think that was what set them off. I don't know. I mean, that's just my opinion. I really don't know what the actual reason was, but I saw this and I was like, I gotta have it. And this is a great story. So I got this board because my wife's family would do a Pollyanna, because she has a large family, and they would do a Pollyanna, and every year you would get together. They would have like a dinner thing where everyone would get together. You have dinner and you goof off, but you wrote down like 3 things that you wanted, that you really, really wanted. And it had to be like under a certain price, because, no one's rich except for rich people. So I remember writing my list out, and I think I only wrote this on it. Like I said, I want the Parker Brothers pink special edition Ouija board. And it's really cool because, like, you're talking about Italian Catholic family. And I'm asking for a Ouija board. I thought it was hilarious. And I got it. I was surprised. I forget who had me for the Pollyanna, but whoever it was, I was so happy. That was probably the best Pollyanna I've ever been to, because I opened it up and some of the faces were like, what? You fucking got a Ouija board? Yeah, damn right. And I was strutting around wearing the pink bag and everything. Because I'm proud. Stacy says, because it's evil. Oh, here's a question from Tommy. How do the ghosts know if you're supposed to be rich? Not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe they just spy on us. Because I hear stories like they watch us having sex and they watch us in the bathroom and stuff. So who knows what ghosts do? Another question from Tommy. Thank you for using the queue because it picked it out really quick. Oh, same question. Oh, man. What am I doing here? Did I double up on that? I don't know. Oh, it comes up twice. Wow, that was weird. Tim Vickers. What's up, Tim? He's in the house. My fellow Three Tortured Souls co-host. Tim says line of staircases, steps out of Ouija boards, then run a slinky down the steps. It will be just as accurate. Oh, Tim, you just gave me something to do tonight. I think I have enough boards to do that. I don't have a slinky though, but all right. Tomorrow night, I might be doing that. If I can find a slinky tomorrow, I will take video and I will be posting it on my YouTube channel so you guys can see, because that's just the kind of stupid shit I love doing it. JD Sword says, what's the proper technique to open, close, conduct a session? I've never used a spirit board. All right, so I'm really not an expert in this, but when I had my when I got my buddies together and we did our I guess study, you would call it, because we were trying to be as scientific as we could. We had controls on it. We were making sure we weren't going out of our way to fudge results or whatever. We were trying to be as stringent as possible when we were playing with the boards. So what I did, I did research it, and I did look into different. I have several books up on my shelf about Ouija boards, and we went online and looked up how to open it, how to close it, and there were different versions. It really depends on who you talk to. Opening was literally, some of them said you go in a circle, wax on, wax off. Others did a figure 8. Other people said just go around randomly until you feel that it's ready. And that didn't make sense because I have no fucking clue when it would be ready. It's not like an oven or a turkey that has that little popper thing that comes out. I don't know. Oftentimes I've read that, you have to move the planchette around to warm it up. I don't know how to respond to that. But I guess it really depends on what you want to do. It really does. It honestly, it comes down to, it doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't, because in the end, and yes, I'm going to say it, it's a toy. It's a freaking toy. It's no worse than like Monopoly. Well, actually, Monopoly is probably the worst fucking game out there. And all of you know what I'm talking about. But other games like Sorry and Connect 4 or holy crap, what else? Shoots and Ladders. That's an evil game. It's just a board game. I've done once. I don't know if I talked about this before, but I actually set up all of these boards in my living room once, and played with them all. Moved all the planchettes around, left them all out with the planchettes on the boards, and went to bed. And I was very excited because I was really hoping something would happen, but nothing. I've never seen a board do anything spectacular like you would see in the movies or anything like that. But let me get back to your question. So opening, I covered. Closing, usually I think people you have to make sure you go across goodbye or you have to say that you close it. It's really weird because you got to think about it. This is like all magic. It's rituals, it's spells, it's reciting things, saying, okay, you're not allowed to come through. And honestly, if you're worried about demons coming through, let's try to do this metaphorically. If you're worried about demons coming through, you have to treat the demon like a burglar. That if they want to come into your house, you standing there saying, okay, I'm closing the door, you're not allowed in, isn't going to do shit. Like, we don't have magic powers. We don't have spells. that's not going to work. So I don't get the whole closing thing. Making sure you say goodbye or closing the door, the metaphorical door. I don't get that. If someone wants to explain that to me, I'd be happy to talk to you. I'm not going to be, I won't talk down to you or derogatory or make fun of you or anything. I honestly want to know the reasoning behind that, or why you think this works. It would be an interesting conversation, and I would totally get into that. As for conducting a session, from what I read, you basically ask questions. And the idea is that you don't know who you're talking to, but you ask questions anyway, and you see what gets spelled out. And that's my problem, because I suck at spelling anyway. I mean, if it wasn't for spell check, most of my emails would be indecipherable. Really bad. So not only would it suck trying to keep track of the letters, especially by memory, because you're moving, if your hands are on the planchette, you have to keep track of the letters, but trying to spell out what they mean. I mean, some of these, like the older ones, actually don't have an older one. All of mine, they all have holes in them. But older planchettes didn't have the hole. You pointed to it. So with the hole, I think there's a problem, because depending on how you're looking, your angle of view, you might see a different letter than somebody else. So there's always that problem. And then there's other problems with just when you take away the players, and I'm going to call them players, when you take away the player's ability to see the board, then it causes a lot more problems. When I had Mark Edward on, he's the professional mentalist. He was actually part of a TV show that explored, I think it was part of Bullshit, Penn and Teller's Bullshit. He was on that show, and they did tests where they showed, like, if you blindfolded the players, they actually scored better if they knew the orientation of the board, because they had a pretty good idea where the letters were. But if you changed that, if you switched the board around, they had no clue, which tells you something about the spirits. If the spirits are actually directing the planchette, then what? I mean, are they fucking blind? Like, what's the deal with that? If they can't spell because you move the board 90 degrees? I don't know. It seems silly to me. All right, let me move on. Thank you, JD. Appreciate it. Stacy, idiomotor reflex. That's pretty much it. Hell 21. Love the name. Toxic smoke from burning plastic laminate, or a demon. I'm not sure. I know. I mean, I'm afraid to burn this, because I don't know. Like, I wouldn't burn this, because that's like a collector's item, as far as I'm concerned. This one, these old ones, this is solid particle board. So this should go up really good. The sticker on the front, because that's what it is, it's just a label, would probably melt and give you some black smoke, but I don't think a lot. But these other boards, they're wrapped around. So there's a sticker. This is actually a sticker on the front. But this is printed on, but it just feels like cardboard to me. So I don't actually think it's let me put this back up. I would be worried if that was on fire, because who knows what kind of shit is coming out of there. I wouldn't be near it when it was burning. But it's funny. I think that's funny. Like funny haha when people, because I've come across a few people that have said that they've burned the boards, that they've lit it on fire because they had weird experiences. They lit it on fire, they put it out in the trash to burn, and then they find it the next morning. If anyone, and I'm talking anyone, wants to do that experiment with me, if you want to show me, if you thoroughly believe that happens, I will come to you within reason. You know, it has to be within driving distance, and on a weekend when I have time. But I will absolutely come out there and take part in that. I will help you burn that fucking board, as long as it's not a rare one, because then I'll take it. But I'll help you burn the board, and I'll sleep over to see if it shows up the next morning, because I seriously doubt that it does. When people tell me that story, that's one of the few times when I just flat out don't believe them. And I really try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt when it comes to claims. I like to listen. I like to go with them and try to do experiments to see what's going on, to see if we can figure out, really what's going on behind the scenes. But when it comes to the claim that they burned a talking board, a Ouija board, and the same exact board appeared the next morning, like, my bullshit meter is like pinging. It's pegged at the deep end, going no. So I know that might sound kind of harsh, but that's where I am with that. Let's see. Donna says Kenny Biddle should have instructions with some of these boxes. Oh, I do. I'm sure I do. I have. Well, no. That was a bunch of stuff. All right, that was one board. I probably knocked that over. Anyway, I do have instructions that come with some of these. The only box that I can actually reach is the Bob's board, and that's a different kind of instructions. That's more of a story. So I'm not going to get into that. Well, should I? Maybe I should, because I want to pick this board up so I don't actually run it over in my Infinity Gauntlet. All right, so let me see. I have... Oh, wait, there's the Stranger Things box. Let me see if there's instructions in this one. There's instructions on the box here. So let me see. What's this say? By the way, the Stranger Things, best planchette. Love that. So, let's see. Assemble the planchette, blah, blah, begin your quest. Gently place the planchette in the center of the Ouija board. Gather closely around the board and try to be chill. They're hip. Each player place 2 fingers lightly on the planchette. Ask your questions. Let the bravest among you ask the first question. Always speak slowly and clearly, contacting the upside down. Oh, because it's the Stranger Things. That's why they're saying upside down. Contacting the upside down is never easy. Be patient. If the planchette doesn't move, ask another question and focus. Focus. When you're finished asking questions, move the planchette to goodbye. Then check the walls for strange shapes and tell yourselves it was just a game. So that's the instructions. That's the instructions that came with the Stranger Things one. I don't know if the instructions are different or much more involved with the other boards or not, but that's the basic idea. So there you go. Thanks, Donna. Let's see. JD says you have to do some specific mumbo jumbo to close the gate or whatever, right? Nah, I just say, hey, I'm going to bed. Lock up before you leave. Josh Hamilton says, have you seen the Zach Baggins edition? Instead of a planchette, you just have to be very verbally abusive to it. It works great in domestic. Oh my God, that's terrible. Oh my God. He really doesn't have a edition, does he? He doesn't have a board, does he? Really? I hope not. I hope not. I definitely want to do the Biddle board, though. I definitely do. All right. JD has a question. Show that one I sent you. I never saw it out of the box. How does it look? Oh, okay. So let me get this here. I want to make sure I don't break it. This is very delicate. Oh, everything's going to fall. All right. So this is one that JD sent me. It's not a board per se. Yeah, I believe it's actually like a dinner tray because it's got beveled edges. Let me see if you can see that. See how it raises up here and it raises up all around the edges. This is kind of old. It's from Hasco. It doesn't have a date on it, but it's from Hasco. I actually have do I have one? I have an Egyptian board from them, but it's cracked in a few places, so that's why I'm being very delicate with it. Let's see, over here and here. So I actually glued it together, so it would be okay. But this is pretty old. I think I showed this last episode or 2 episodes ago, and it somebody actually came up and said it was pretty old. I forget the year that they gave me, but they looked it up. But this is really cool. I definitely love this, and I keep this back here just so it doesn't get. I don't like handling it because I don't want to damage it anymore, because it's really cool. Until I get, I want to get a shadow box for it, so I can hang it up. But I'm going to put this back here for now, so it doesn't get damaged. Very carefully. All right. There we go. Okay, good. Let's see. Kathy says, actually, you can burn the boards. I've done it in the past. I mean, I've done it once just because it was an old board that was all messed up anyway, and I didn't have any problem. Didn't pop up. I mean, honestly, I would fucking love that. That'd be so cool if I tossed it in the trash, like all burned. Actually, maybe we'll do that one night. We'll have a party, or we have a fire pit. That's what I'm trying to say. We have a fire pit out back next to our tiki bar. What? Maybe I'll do that. I'll find like a $2 yard sale Ouija board that I already have like a copy of, and we'll see if we'll do a little video on that too. That'll be cool. Hey, Daniel. Hey, thanks for coming by, man. Good to see you. How late is that? Hell, I'm still, oh my God, I'm so far behind. So far behind on comments. I hope you're still here, Daniel. But this is good. I'm glad I'm getting a lot of questions and comments that I'm going through. This is really nice. Let's see. I have 2 minutes. I'm going to play my commercial in 2 minutes. So I'm going to address one more comment, play my commercial, and then I'll come back and address the rest of them. So let's see. Tommy says, I kind of want to buy whichever one he thinks is legit and do whatever we need to do to get that form out and sit with him and just do it, dude. Do it. I say do it, and not only do it, but film it. Definitely film it. And between you and me and everyone else that's watching live and on the replay, I would set up 2 cameras. I would set up a camera like in the corner to get the widest view and really not say anything. I mean, if you can set that up before your friend shows up, I know it's kind of like shady, but you want to make sure. Just in case somebody messes around, or if there's other people and something gets accidentally bumped, which happens a lot, you want to have some kind of wide view to see that. But I would definitely set up a camera in the corner and then have another camera that's obvious, and then definitely get permission to be filmed or to film. But this gives you not only a close-up view, but then you have the wide angle view, which gives you 2 perspectives on what's going on. But I definitely would film it. Okay, I did that pretty quick, so I'm going to do one more question. Bob says, speaking of games, I know I lost horribly because I am not a clairvoyant, but are you revealing what is in the box tonight from earlier in the week? Oh, you mean this box? Yes, I will be. I will be. Actually, if my lovely wife is watching still, please, can you bring me my keys? Because damn it, I forgot to bring up my keys to unlock it. But I will, yeah, I definitely will open this up. I might have to run down during the break. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play my commercial, and I'm going to run down and grab my keys so I have them, and then I'll be right back. So let me see. Where's my commercial? Where's my commercial? There. Oh, wait. Nope. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, that's it. There it is. Okay. So I'll be right back. Oh, let me get this comment off because that would look weird if I'm playing that. So, all right, listen to the commercial and I'll be right back. Hey there, my friends. Are you looking to show off your science and skeptical side like these fine people? Then head over to my Teespring store where you'll find lots of t-shirts, coffee mugs, tote bags, fanny packs. Yes, they are coming back. Face coverings, yoga pants, and even pillows. What? Yes, there's lots of designs. You'll get some cool merch, and the money from your purchases go right back into my research efforts. We all win. So check out Scientific Skepticism at teespring.com. And remember, kids, never stop learning.
Are you tortured by what you see and hear about the paranormal field? Join us as we critically examine and question paranormal claims, science, ghosts, demons, cryptids, UFOs, ghost hunting technology, and much more are all on the table for discussion. 3 Tortured Souls is a video podcast that streams live on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 Pacific.
3 Tortured Souls.
All right, there. I love my commercials. I really do have to redo mine though, because it's I don't like the audio on it. But all right, so let's get back. Let's get back. Kathy wants to know: did you do the answers for the contest test? No, I did not. I'm going to say that to the end. So you still have about half hour to 40 minutes before I get to that. Let's see. Hell21 asks: have you used a board yourself? Yes, I have. I've used pretty much every one here, except for these two. Let's see. I'm going to do the other one first. This one is it's kind of rare. I think it's really rare, but it's an adult party one. I don't remember the exact history of this. I did look it up, but apparently the guy that invented this one, saw the other Ouija boards and he thought they were more like children's games because they were pretty simple and not really involved. And if you have adults that really want to have messages or get more conversation out of it, then it took too long to use a regular talking board to get the answer. So this is actually, I'll try to put it up here. You got lots of words, lots and lots of words. You have the letters in the middle with the numbers, so you can go there, but lots of words all over the place. Which, honestly, if I was a ghost looking at this, I'd be like, fuck you, man. Get the other board. This is too difficult. Look at all this stuff. This is way too much. But that's one I picked up at a yard sale, which was a cool find. Very cool find. Let's see. Question. Okay, let me see. Let me go through these. To fan. Let's see. What's Bob saying? To fan. I don't know who fan is. You got to comment as much as Bob does because virtually he never shuts up but because of social anxiety when in person, I never talk. I know you do. You are quiet in person, Bob, but you talk a lot here, which is okay. Oh, you have a board though. This is actually a board I picked up. I picked this up on eBay because I came into the game late. Apparently this was released, I think in 2018 or 2017. And there was a whole story behind it about how it was allegedly designed by a serial killer and that he did it after he killed a whole bunch of people and he wanted to make amends, I guess. And he designed this board in a way that there were secret messages, so you could figure out where some of the bodies were. And I guess it was about like 6 months ago where I saw a link to this and I started researching it. They have a website, but it's shitty, honestly. And they offer a cash prize, I think it was like 50 grand or something, if you could decipher decipher the message that was hidden, because there's stuff all over. I'll put it up here. I'll let you get a little closer look. I'll try and get the glare out there, but there's all kinds of little pictures and stuff. The box itself has different symbols. I'll actually show you the box too if you want. Let's see. This is the box for it. And from what I understand, it was a gaming company, a board game company that was trying to do a startup. And they figured that they were going to put this out. Those eyes look familiar. they were going to put this out as like a promotional thing and get people really interested, and they gave away a lot. Like there were a couple ghost hunting groups that got messages, and I actually remember getting a message from this, and a message from the company that was doing it. You had to email them and give them like I don't know, just email them and request a free board to test out, and they would send you one. I emailed, I never got one, but apparently a bunch of other groups did, and there I go, hitting stuff again. So there was a bunch of boards out, and I think there was one conference, like a paranormal conference, where the guy that did it gave out a whole bunch of boards, like 100 boards or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but and then it died out. It just died out. It's not I mean I guess it just didn't catch on because you could get other boards. This was kind of expensive. It was, I think I paid like $35-40 for it. And it's basically, it's no different than a regular talking board. It's regular pressed cardboard and then a sticker. It's just a sticker that's on the top. Which is why I'm convinced I can make a biddle board. Whew. But it's cool anyway. And I actually figured out a loophole where I think I'm going to be able to give the people shit and about paying me the prize money because of the mystery and the rules and stuff. I found a loophole, but that's not going to happen. All right, so let me go through some of these. Biddle board, the word energy. Oh, here we go. Hey, John Holmes. Nice to see you. All right. Let's see. I'm going through, looking for a cue. Oh, wait. Josh says, when I told you about the time I watched something fly off the table when I was younger, it was the board. So I enjoy collecting them, but I no longer use them ever. I enjoy collecting them. If people want to get rid of them, I take them. Like I'll take the board and I'll take the planchette because I think they're actually like really cool looking. I think it's a form of art. The designs are really cool. Although many of them are mass produced. I mean, some of them, like this thing back here, is pretty rare. I have an Egyptian board that's did I bring it up? I don't think I did. I have one that's an Egyptian board that's also made by the same company that made the one that JD sent me. And it's pretty big, but it's really thick too. It's like it's over a 1/4 inch thick, which is a lot more than these things. Actually, I think it's like a 1/2 inch thick. And that's really old too. That one I actually talked to Robert Murch, the guy that runs the Museum of Talking Boards. I talked to him about and to get his input, and he's like, yeah, that's pretty old and pretty rare. So pretty cool. I haven't seen anything fly. I haven't seen anything fly off. Although maybe because they're all out, maybe I'll just set them up and I'll actually put like Blinky in the middle of all of them tonight until my wife yells up the stairs, no! Let's see. Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. That's a great profile picture. Holy shit, that's funny. She says tarot cards can tell a great story, so easy to tie them together. I agree. I think the interpretations, the basic stories behind them allows for, if you're a good storyteller, you can easily have a flow going. You can have a story just flowing through as you read the cards, especially when you put them out in the different patterns, depending on what pattern that you use. And then they're out, you can look at them for a minute and then go with the story. And then also when you get feedback from the sitter, of course, they can fill in the details and give you more material. Let's see. What? Carol Love says Biddleboard, F.U. Baggins. That's actually good. I'm going to write that down as soon as I find a pen. Oh, there's one. Because I like that. I need these things to help design my Biddleboard. So, F.U. Baggins. Maybe I'll try and figure out how to do the whole like UV thing and I'll just put like hidden messages in it that you need this special planchette to do. That would be cool. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know what this is for. I'm not sure, but I don't if this is not in jest, then I suggest you understand the rules here. Be nice. If you're not nice, then I will eject you. So let's stop this. I don't know if there's more comments later on, but I will not tolerate this. So be nice. Let's see. Going through. Dun, dun. Oh, I see other stuff. So you are now gone. All right. Wow. Good one. So that guy was officially the first one that I have removed from the show. He is now blocked and will not be allowed to come back on. I don't like that. I enjoy civil conversation between people. We can have different beliefs. We can disagree, but this is my show. And I mean, one of the rules is be nice. Really be nice. And if you're not going to be nice, like that guy was, he was not nice. You're fucking gone. So I didn't like that. There we go. This is a monumentous occasion because I kicked out the first person. Dumbass. All right. So, oh, wait. Tim Vickers says already drinking. It happens. Tim Vickers is funny when he's drunk. All right. So, I don't know. Hell 21. I don't know why he was giving you shit, but hopefully we don't have to worry about that. All right. Bob says someone needs to invent a Roomba version of a talking board and just let it go wild. No one touches it. It just moves randomly. I wonder if we could do, because I have a rug. Like, I don't know. I've posted a picture before on my Facebook page, but I have a rug that's, I think it's like 6x5 or 6x5. And it's a Ouija board. It looks like the standard Ouija board. So I wonder if I built just a quick wooden frame, just 2x4s, around, or 1x4s, and framed it out and just put a Roomba in there. No, because that would go to the edges, right? I don't have a Roomba, so I'm not sure, but I figured that would just go to the edges and then just bounce around. So, we'll have to think about that. We'll come back to that, Bob. We'll revisit that later. Let's see. Donna says there was always that one friend, Kenny Biddle, who messed with the planchette. Fuck yeah. Yep, I did. Because I'm that guy. All right, keep going through. Keep going. Hey, John. How you doing? Good to see you, John. John, I am coming down. Let's see. People usually aren't impressed when they see a John. Hey, John, I am heading down your way Monday. So I'll be down for 2 weeks in your area. So, I mean, if we can safely get together and maybe just hang out somewhere open. I don't know what the rules are down there. Let me know. As long as we, safely do. I don't want to, get anyone sick or get me sick. So let me know. Let's see. Carol Love says, if a person on the planchette was contacting someone, it moved. If no one on the planchette was related to the called person, nothing happened except once. That one was a bit freaky. So I'm not really sure how to address this, but I mean, I've played with it a bunch of times and nothing has ever happened. It's never moved unless I moved it. And yes, I mean, like my wife totally calls me out for, I was the one that moved it. But because it got boring, it really got boring because it wouldn't move unless I did something. So I would fuck with the other people. I don't know if maybe we'll have to do that. Maybe I can convince my wife tonight after we're done here. Maybe we'll play with one and we'll see if I can contact. I have some friends that have passed away, and maybe we'll try and contact them, and we'll see if we can get some answers. I'll let you know. Let's see. Oh, wait. Bob says, with regards to the controversy, yeah, what you said makes sense. I tend to think so. I think when you target a specific group, especially when you're targeting little kids, because the questions in this pink bag are not for adults. They are definitely young, preteen, young teen girls. And yeah, I definitely think if you're targeting young girls like that, yes, you're going to get some shit from parents. Let's see. Tim Vicker says gender stereotyping, even the questions. Yes. I mean, they're let me see if I can get more. Because they're funny. Let me see. What do we got here? Oh, I love the bag though. I seriously love the fucking bag. Let's see. All right. So we have ones that are like this. My secret admirer is the best job I will ever have will be. Oh, here we go. Here we go. How many children will I have when I grow up? I mean, that right there, that tells you who they're targeting. Right there. Does, name someone, want to go out with me? Oh, will I ever be a politician? No, don't. Just don't do it. Oh my God. Here we go. I'm sure you guys are going to love this. If I have to choose, will I have a career or stay home with my kids? Oh my God. I really think that is the gender stereotyping right there. So I can totally see why they had an issue with this. Totally see. Oh my God. That's horrible. All right. Let's see. Going down. Stacy says, I still don't see how people call it the scariest movie. What do you... Oh, are we talking about The Exorcist? Maybe? I'm not sure where we're going with that. I don't know. Let me know. Are you talking about The Exorcist? Because I can comment on that. I don't know what the Human Centipede is. That sounds like something I want to watch. All right, Stacy. Oh, yeah, it looks like they are talking about The Exorcist. So The Exorcist, you know what? I think I've said this before. The Exorcist, I never watched it fully until maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. I've seen parts of it, and I actually saw a while ago. I was researching an article on Ouija boards, talking boards, and like the history and modern uses and why people have this stigma about it. And I deliberately watched part of The Exorcist because I wanted to see where the Ouija board showed up. And I was really surprised because I had never seen the whole movie through. And I was so surprised to see that it was in there. I think it's like 1 minute and 6 seconds, or it's just over 1 minute that it's in there, like of screen time. And I mean, the worst thing that happens is that the planchette shoots off. That's it. There's no growling. There's no, people getting thrown around or possessed or deep voices and shit like that. It's just the planchette kind of slides off the table and that's it. They move on. No big deal. So, yeah, about 2 years ago, 3 years ago or something, I saw it. I saw it was like on demand or something. And I was like, you know what? I've never actually sat through this entire film. I've been to the steps in what is that? Jamestown, I think, in Washington, D.C. The steps and the house that they used in the movie. I've been there. I've been on the steps. I walked all the way up and down the steps. Whew, that's a lot of steps. And I've been outside the house. But I've never seen the movie, so I sat through it all. And I mean, there was a few times I laughed. I thought it was funny. I didn't find it scary at all, but I guess you have to put yourself in the context of the time. When it came out, this was not something that was normal. And I think Stacy, you kind of like hit on it a little bit, being saying that you were desensitized. I think that's with a lot of us when we're used to watching horror movies. I mean, I watch horror movies with gore, lots of gore in it, because I like zombies, and I mean, we watch Walking Dead. I've been watching Van Helsing on Netflix, and all these other movies with a lot of gore, a lot of dark themes and stuff. We're desensitized to it. So when we go back to the older films and look at something like The Exorcist, it's like, okay, big deal. She's got a whole bunch of acne and she spits up pea soup. Big deal. What else you got? And I mean, when I saw the crab walk, I fucking laughed out loud. I thought that was hilarious, and just I don't know why. It made me laugh. So yeah, I don't really find that to be the scariest movie at all. But again, it goes back to context. When we're talking about when it came out, people weren't used to that. They weren't used to that kind of film, about that kind of imagery showing on screen. So I can see how it could upset people. And then especially because, I mean, honestly, the good guys lost, I think, in that. Because nothing really, I mean, the one priest throws himself outside the window, which if you're ever actually at the house in the steps, that can't happen. It can't. It's not possible. But, yeah, I mean, eventually, I mean, the priest dies. So it's not like the good guys won. All right. So moving on. These are great questions. Good questions tonight. Oh my God. How far? You know what? Like I get down to the comments on the side here, on the sidebar, and it's like, oh, you only have like 2 or 3 questions or comments left. And then as soon as I click on the bar to move it down, it pops up and there's tons of comments. Oh, let's see. Why does everyone hate Monopoly? Oh, Bob, that's because it's so competitive. Like I don't know how many times we've actually played, but we haven't played Monopoly in this house in years because of how competitive someone is. Not me. But I do have a Houdini version of Monopoly, which actually has my name on one of the properties because I helped crowdsource it. So I'm willing to play that game just because it's Houdini. We just haven't gotten around to it. No, Donna, I am not a hater. Oh, damn. It's hard when my wife is in the chat room. Calls me out on shit. All right. Carol says, when my believer friend did it, we lit candles and she said a prayer to bring the light white or some such. I love how you say some such. When people use the Ouija board, that I think personal beliefs come into play. They think, prayers will help, or having some kind of medallion. Like people sometimes wear a cross. I wear a hammer. And they think, you see people like bring the cross up and they kiss the cross, and it's that belief that it's going to protect them, and saying a prayer and talking about white light. I mean, I really think that's a placebo effect where it helps you personally feel better if that's what you believe in. Does it actually work? I don't think so, because I think any psychological effects from a talking board are produced by you. So if you have some kind of countermeasure like prayer or wearing a medallion or holding a medallion or saying the name of somebody, if you think that helps, then of course your one psychological belief is going to cancel out the other psychological belief. So yeah, I really think it has to do with personal perception. All right. Talking about movies. I love this. I really have to go back through the comments sometimes and see what kind of movie recommendations there are, because you guys give some good movies. I think somebody actually mentioned Teeth last episode or something, or maybe that was a private conversation. I don't know. If you guys have ever seen Teeth, oh my God. that is something different. And if you've never seen it, just make sure you're not easily like grossed out, That's all I got to say. But definitely watch Teeth. All right. Tim Vickers. Yes, there is a lot of power in a ritual. I agree. I mean, if I know a lot of religious people don't like to think what they're doing is ritualistic, but it is. When you go through the motions, when you say prayers, when you like even the sign of the cross that they do, it's a ritual. It really is. It's something that is intended to make you feel protected, or or part of something, or yeah, I guess protected or safe. Maybe that's a good word, safe. So the rituals that people do are, they're a powerful thing. It's a powerful placebo. Um, and I'm saying that from my point of view, which is that of a skeptic. Um, but if you're a believer, it's not a placebo to you, and I get it. I totally get it. I'm not trying, even though it sounds like I'm like demeaning it. I'm really not trying to. It's just different perspective of the same thing. All right, so I do see a Q. Awesome. I love that. Let's see. Carol says, can you comment on the psychology research about using them to reveal what is in a person's subconscious? No. I can't comment on the psychology research because I actually haven't done any research into that yet. I know I've looked into it before, but it was a while ago, so I can't really bring it up. But I will give you my opinion. So psychology research about using them to reveal what's in a person's subconscious. So I think this really goes into the ideomotor effect. So if you know something, then usually you can answer the question yourself. That's why a lot of people talk to themselves, because even though it's more of a joke, especially with like TV and movies and stuff like that, it's a joke when you talk to yourself because it's like, oh, you're crazy, you're talking to yourself, but it's not. Talking to yourself is a form of almost therapy where it gets it out. You're talking out your problems, you're getting it out loud, you're hearing to what it sounds like, so you can assess what you're hearing and then give an analysis of it. So I think when you're doing the planchette, when you're asking questions with the planchette and the Ouija board, if you're asking questions that you already know, especially because I think earlier it was brought up, I don't know if it was you, Carol, or somebody else brought it up, that if you're trying to contact someone that you love, like a friend or a family, then the planchette moves. But if you're contacting somebody you don't know, it doesn't move. So this kind of falls into it, because if you are trying to contact someone that you do know, you know them. You have some kind of relationship with them, either a friend or a family, and you know certain things about them. It might not be readily available. Like you might not be able to accurately recall certain specific details, but in asking questions, you can also give yourself general responses through the planchette. You can spell out things like names, dates, and get close to it. So I think there is definitely something to say about, if you have knowledge of the person that you're trying to contact, then yes, you're going to get some answers because you're going to think about it. It's the ideomotor effect is mostly muscle movements, but it's based on the fact that you know something, you know the answer. And the analogy that I like to use is that, like when you're driving a car, if you're driving, the car never goes straight. You never go in a straight line. You are constantly making micro adjustments. As you're holding the steering wheel, you're constantly doing this. You're not thinking about it. You're not thinking, oh, I need to go a little bit this way. I need to go a little bit that way. Uh-oh, I'm a little bit too far that way. Let me course correct. Let me go this way. These are natural things that are coming to you, and you're just doing them. You're not thinking about them. They're subconsciously. So you know what you have to do, and you're acting out what you have to do, but you're not thinking about what you have to do. And I think that translates, I could be totally wrong on this, but I think that translates over to when you're asking like a talking board. If you have a belief in a talking board and you think you really are talking to someone that you know, if you already know the answers or kind of have an idea, those are the answers you're going to get. And that's because you're pushing it. You might not feel that you're pushing it, but little subtle movements might get you going in the right direction. Like I mentioned earlier, the experiment that I did with like Donna and Mitch and them that came over. Once you start nudging it one way, everybody kind of goes with it, and it becomes a group think kind of thing where you just go with it and see where it goes. You're just gliding along, and if it stops, you stop. If it nudges somewhere else, you keep going with it. So I think there's a lot to be said about your subconscious, about the stuff that you already know going into this. I've done a board. I don't have it here with me. I do have a board where I actually made it myself, a custom board. It's not the Biddle board, but it was a board that I made years ago for an experiment where it was a completely unique pattern, and we tested people on it, and we asked them questions that they should know the answers to, and they could not do it. Even though they tried to answer the questions, they couldn't do it because they didn't know where the letters and numbers were. That was a whole different story. Big experiment. So, all right. I hope I answered your question there. So let me see. What time is it? Oh, we got an hour and a half. We got a half hour to go. I'm going to go a little bit more. I'm going to try and catch up with some of these and then skip ahead to see if there's any questions. And then I'm going to get to doing the remote viewer challenge unveiling. Hell 21 says emoji spirit board, quick patent. And I'm looking up the patent office now. We'll work on that later. All right. More talk about movies. Tim Vickers. Knee-jerk response. I think it has to do with the same concept of hypnotism. A less than conscious part of your mind is answering your own question that you don't know or don't want to answer. It's a defense mechanism by distancing yourself from answering a question you don't want to or are afraid of, or for some reason refuse to bring it to conscious state of thought. That's a good point, Tim. And I appreciate you bringing that up. That's a good point. And it reminds me of this might be a long-winded way to get around to my answer here or my response, but back in the early days of seances, when it's still dominated primarily by females. So psychics and mediums are primarily dominated by females. And even back in the day, in Victorian times, when it comes up, your medium was usually female. And it was one of those things culturally where women were not they didn't hold such important jobs, but mediumship, spiritualism allowed for a woman to be in control, to take charge and be in charge of everything going on. And they could occasionally, or a lot, I mean, depending on who you talk to, there was a couple mediums that were really, really feisty and I like it, but they could pretty much say whatever they wanted and get away with it. You know, normally stuff during the times, and please remember, we're talking about the context of the times, when this was really developing, when spiritualism was really developing. Women couldn't really say a lot of things, especially towards men, but in the context of a seance, they could say whatever the fuck they wanted to, really like badger people. And if they wanted to like expose people for like cheating or crimes or whatever, and get away with it. And I think this kind of goes into what you're saying, is that through the use of a board, if you know the answer to a question and maybe you don't want to answer it because maybe embarrassment or something that it's just been a secret that you've held for so long, the board is almost like an opportunity where you can say, okay, well, I'm not giving the answer. The spirits are. So it's not me. I'm relieved of this burden of blame, because if it comes up on the board, if it spells out something, I can be just as shocked as everyone else, even though I might be the one that's pushing it around and giving the answer. But you can be as shocked as everyone else, as in like, holy shit, the spirits are giving us this answer that nobody knew before, when in fact you did. So that's actually, I don't know if that goes along. I don't know if you agree with that, Tim, but I kind of think that's on the same, along the same vein as what you're trying to put forth there. It's something that you don't want to, or maybe you don't feel comfortable answering, but when you have the chance of blaming somebody else, i.e. spirits or demons, then it's fair game. All right, so let me keep going here. Let's see. Question for Tommy. Have you ever seen anyone do some kind of test to see if the spirits are using the spelling or grammar from the times in history they are supposed to be from? That's really interesting. No, I have not. I haven't done that. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because you could playing devil's advocate here, devil, you could probably argue that if a spirit has been around for decades or centuries, then they might have picked up or adapted to the modern language. But I like your way of thinking there. I do. I like your way of thinking, because that might be something to look into. Maybe keep track of the vernacular of the spirits and what they're saying, how they're talking, the context, even just certain words, I think, would be relevant to the time or specific to like a period of time. I'm not sure. That's an interesting idea. I'm going to write that down, because that's let's see, spelling and grammar of time, of the proper time. Okay. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. All right. How far back am I? 9:52. Holy shit. I'm so far behind in comments. So let me skip through some of these. They're just comments you guys are having with yourself. Hey, Matthias? I'm not sure how to say your name. So correct me. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Do it phonetically so I understand. Matthias, number one, or Matthias? I don't see an H. So John has a question. If you don't close the gate, does that mean ghosts and demons just swarm out into the world forever and take over the earth? Well, according to Supernatural, yes, that's what they do. Sam and Dean, I mean, they always close the gate. So I actually don't know. I mean, because I've never, to be honest, every time I've played with a Ouija board, I've never closed the gate. So all of these boards that you see are apparently have been open for years. So I don't know what to make of that. Uh-oh. Oh, Bob posted a link. Southern Strange Baggins Ouija keychain. Oh, okay. Maybe it's a keychain. That's good. All right. So let me keep going, because it's getting, we got 20 minutes left, and I want to get to the box unveiling. Ooh. Uh-oh. There we go. Donna says, yes, burn the board party. All right, so here we go. If you know me well enough that you know where I live, kind of, and you have a board and you want to burn it, let me know. We will have a party. We'll get a couple people together. If you have an extra board, or if you pick one up at a yard sale and you're like, let's burn it, we're going to have a Ouija board burning party, and just prove to the world that, yes, they can be burned, but not antiques. If they're like rare ones, I will not burn them, and I will steal them from you and keep them protected. So let's see. All right. So Kathy says, on a lighter note, to get my head cleared, my mythic tarot cards came from a private owner. They bought them when they were 16. Okay. I bought them $5. All right. Talking about tarot cards. Oh, Aaron's here. Hey, Aaron. Question. Tell us your opinion on Paranology's gyroscope, the digital talking board. How would you design an electrical type board and experiments to test an electric one? And I used a board once. Weird energy afterwards. Cheers. Aaron, do I have it here? I don't have it here. I have that. I was a friend of mine had purchased this gyroscope, and said it was, honestly, they said it was absolutely useless and sent it to me. So I could test it. And I've taken it to, there's actually pictures of me on my Facebook page at White Hill Mansion in New Jersey when I have this gyroscope, and I also have the steampunk, what is it, Periscope 360 or whatever that fucking thing is, set up with video cameras. And the staff at White Hill let me have it for the whole day, which was really nice of them. Went through a whole bunch of the rooms, the most haunted spots, addressed all the ghosts that were supposed to be there to get it to go off. And for those of you that don't know, the gyroscope is basically, I wish I could show it. Maybe I can, wait. Since I have the power of the internet, let me see, paranormal, geez. I really don't like promoting this guy at all because, I mean, I think he's an asshole. And he absolutely hates me. You just go read the fucking blog that he wrote about me. All right, so I'm going to share the screen so you can see it. I'm going to take this off. There we go. Share. And boom. That's what the gyroscope looks like. That's what I have. I have that. And what happens is that there is a light on either side. There's this light, and then on the other side, I think you can see it. Okay, there's my pointer. On the other side, the light is on the outer ring. And what happens is this is based off static. So it's based off the same sensor that the periscope is, that any static device is, any static ghost hunting device. It's based on the MPF 104. I think that's what it is. MPF 104 static solenoid. And basically any static electricity will complete the circuit and make the light up. And what's in here, this glow here, is a UV LED. And the material that this wheel is made of is glow in the dark material. So if the light lights up, it makes like a glowing spot. So if you ever had like glow in the dark material, you know, like if you shine a light on part of it and then move it away, just that spot lights up or glows, continues to glow. That's what happens here. And I took it with me. I took it to a place and had it running for hours, asking questions, letting it go off, and absolutely nothing. And that's basically testing it the way it's supposed to be tested. According to the website, I did exactly what the website told me to do. And nothing came of it. And because it uses the same internal components as other devices that are either less or more expensive, but just different, I've tested it before, and it's very easy to make it go off. You can, especially if it's getting colder out, if the weather's getting colder, like during winter, and you're wearing more clothing, the friction from your clothing will create static. And if you walk by it, if you get close to it, you're going to make this go off. So this, to me, is not a valid device for ghost hunting. It's more of a novelty. I mean, it looks cool. Granted, it looks cool. And when I put it back on the shelf, I used to have it back here. When I put it back on the shelf, it looks cool because it's got that steampunk kind of look to it. Although it's very cheaply made. The 3D printing that all this here is done, it's very cheap. And it's not, honestly, it's not worth the price that is being charged for it because it's very easy to damage. The legs, you barely see the legs. Actually, you can't see the legs here, but the legs on mine, there's 4 of them. They all broke off, and that's because it was just very cheaply made. So that's enough about talking about him. Because again, like I said, this guy hates me. All right, so keep going. What do we got? We got 15 minutes yet. I'm coming down to the wire. JD says, I don't understand why everybody would have to have their hands on the planchette for spirits to talk. Why couldn't they just move the damn planchette themselves? Most of the things, most of the reasons I get is because, get ready to drink, people. The energy of the spirit is supposed to come through you, through your hands, into your fingers, into the planchette, and move the planchette. That's what I'm told. But again, I'm with you. I'm with you. I should be able to leave all of these boards out. Let me see. All of these boards out. All of these. With planchettes on them. And they should move around. I don't see what the problem is. I actually think that it would be harder if my fingers were on the planchette, because now you have to, not only do you have to break the surface tension of the planchette on the board, but you have the added weight of my fingers on the planchette, and then everyone else that's playing, you have their added weight. So it doesn't make sense. So I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Holy crap, I'm so far behind. I'm like 45 minutes behind these comments. Oh my God, because I see Kathy like a serial killer. So no, Kathy, a serial killer did not actually create the board. That was the promo story that they put out, but it's not true. It's not true. The research that I did so far, I was going to write an article about it, but it really wasn't even worth it yet, because I'm still working on it. But it's not. No, there was no serial killer that did this board. This is a completely fictitious story to try to sell board games. All right. So let's see. Hell 21 says they are so iconic. I had one just as art on my wall. When I had my museum, the physical museum, the mystery museum, when I had that, there was actually a corner. I had one corner set up as the talking board corner, and all of these boards were actually up on the wall, displayed. So you can actually, and they were in the 3M kind of like hooks, so that you could actually slide them out of the hooks and play them. There was a table there that you could take any board out that you wanted with the planchette hanging next to it, that you could actually play with them. So unfortunately, the museum didn't work out. So, oh well. All right. So, oh, look, John Holmes had a comment that was blocked because he was being a douchebag. Let's see. JD Short says, woohoo, I finally got to see an asshole get the bums rushed. I'm glad I could help. Let's see. You're welcome, Hell 21. Appreciate that. That was just, I don't like that. I know I'm way behind on these. No, I will not burn the pink one first. I know that's probably sexist. I know, well, I mean, not me, my statement, but I know that the pink is probably sexist because, like that's obviously directed towards girls. But this is like a collector's item now. I mean, especially with the bag. I love this. I am not getting rid of this ever. All right. Talking about the human centipede. I'm going to have to watch it now. I really need to. God damn, the comments bar keeps going up like with more and more questions. I'm trying to get to all of them. We might run over tonight. You guys don't mind, do you? We're going to run over. All right, Aaron's got a question. What do you think of paranormal? Oh, wait. Did I not? Did you ask this already, or did I? How did I do that? I don't know. It looks like the same question. I don't know if your questions are actually coming up like double or not, because I'm moving down and it looked like that came up twice. Hell21 says, Kenny, you should go investigate the house that the film The Conjuring is based on. The newest owners run it as a haunted bed and breakfast type thing now, I think. So I do know a little bit about this. When the house was sold, I actually worked on an article, which is available on Skeptical Inquirer. If you go on skepticalinquirer.com and search for my name, you're going to see an article, one of many, because I think I have like 40 plus articles on there. And one of them is about correcting the history of the Conjuring house. And I really get in depth with the history, the historical claims of all the people that allegedly died by suicide or murder or whatever in the house. Spoiler, they didn't. But I did try to contact the new owners. They didn't get back to me, which is, that's their right. They don't have to put up with me because, granted, I was a skeptic that was investigating claims, which is probably not beneficial to the business that they are running. But I was able to go up there. I drove past it. I didn't go on the property. I didn't actually pull in. But my wife and I actually drove past the house. I took a couple pictures from the road. And then I met with Norma Sutcliffe, who was the previous owner of the house. And I actually spent the day with her. And a nice, awesome gentleman, a retired journalist named Kent Spotswood, who sadly passed away earlier this year, not long after I met him. But we spent the day together. We actually rediscovered graves of people that were associated with the house. We found these little cemeteries that this one cemetery was literally, we had to ask permission to go through people's properties to get to this cemetery because it's that far back and it was secluded, overgrown. I had to hop the fence in order to get into it and then clear a way to open the gate so we could all go in. And then I think we overturned at least one tombstone because a lot of them were knocked down, not all of them, but so we overturned it so we could see who was there. And we discovered a lot of people that were associated with the house, which was kind of cool. But I'm always open to it. I actually really, really want to get up there. So if anyone's watching this and you're going to book a weekend at the Conjuring house and you want a skeptic go along with you, I'm willing to do it. Just let me know when and how much my part is, because I would love to participate. So far, I've actually known a couple groups that went up there, but let's just say they didn't want to invite me, which is sad, but I understand, they want to do their thing, which is cool. But I actually just want to go up just to see the house, to be inside of it and just look at a few things myself, compare it with historical notes and claims and like that. So, but yeah, if you get a chance, Hell21, please go to Skeptical Inquirer and look up my article and take a read and let me know what you think. All right. So what are we at? 54. Oh my God. We got 6 minutes left. So I'm going to go through here. I'm going to go through the comments. I'm looking. I'm not seeing any cues so far. I'm waiting for the bar to actually like jump up and be like, oh, you got like 50 more fucking questions, which I love. Don't get me wrong. There we go. I'm at the end. Oh, I thought I was at the end. Hell21 says, very cool. I will have to read the article. And yes, you would probably be bad for business. I'm sure. I did, when I reached out to the owners, I was as respectful as I could be. I mean, I was just trying to verify some things with them and get their story. I really wanted to give their side of the story. But I mean, it's up to you. If I contact you to get your side of the story and you don't want to talk to me, that's totally up to you. I don't hold that against you, but I mean, honestly, it looks bad. It does look bad on your part because If you don't want to respond, then it just looks bad. But I want to go up there. I want to go up there. I want to see what it looks like. I want to walk around the inside and see what everyone's talking about. Because I hear people coming back saying they had great experiences and it was so active and this and that. And I want to see. I want to see. So, all right. We got a question from Coral. Hey, Coral. What's up? Like profile. She says, why wouldn't a ghost just use someone's energy? You're making me drink. To move their hand to a pencil and write a note. Ghosts don't seem very practical. Why we lived closer? Why we lived closer? We definitely attend your Ouija board. Oh, okay. So if you did, yeah, I don't get it. There's so many easier ways to convey a message. But yeah, if you can summon the energy to move my hand that's holding a planchette or pushing one of these things, you can certainly move a pencil. You can certainly. Oh wait, what she said. Oh, wish, not why. That's all right. Don't worry. No big deal. So wish we lived closer. Yeah, if you can move a planchette and my hand when I'm holding it steady, then you should be able to actually like move a pencil. So, or type a keyboard. Like I should be able to pull up Word and put up like, especially like my laptop. And if you have laptops or what have you, then some of the keys are very, very soft. They're not like I have a typewriter keyboard in front of me right now. It's a vintage kind of typewriter keyboard, which is really fucking awesome. But it's probably harder to press the keys than my laptop. My laptop is very easy. It's very gentle. So do like a Patrick Swayze thing in Ghost and type. I don't understand why you can't type. Type a fucking message. Tell me what's going on. It'd be awesome. Patrick Swayze, if you're listening, type me a message. Let me know what's going on. That would be great. I love Patrick Swayze. He's a cool guy. Roadhouse. Fucking Roadhouse rules. All right, so I'm at the end of the comments, so I'm going to open this box up. I did look through all the comments. I did not see a winner. So here we go. I'm going to open this up. And if for those that don't know, this is a remote viewing challenge that I do. It's a very informal test, a very informal experiment that I do, where this is the official remote viewing challenge box because it says so. And on the back, it has a target ID because I've been told by remote viewers that for some reason things need to have a target ID. And you have to assign an ID to it so that they know where to look. Let's see. Oh, hey, Ted. Is Ted listening? He just sent me a message saying, yes, you can go over. And why haven't you got to my hello part yet? I didn't see you, Ted. I didn't see your comment. So I'm sorry, Ted. I'm going to go over anyway. So anyway, so here, yeah. So there's the target ID. I don't know what that really has to do with it because, like, I was told by remote viewers specifically that I had to put a target ID on the box. So I don't know how remote viewing would work with like places overseas where you can't actually put a target ID number on something unless, it works if you put it on the map. I don't know. So anyway, so this is it. I put an object in here, a random object in here once in a while, and I offer a prize. I offered a couple books that I would send out to you if you lived in the United States and guessed properly. I offer a prize that I would give away if you guessed correctly. And I basically put the item in here. I seal it up. I lock it so no one can get into it. I have the only key, which is on this key ring. And that's it. And I did it a couple days ago, and now I'm going to open it up. So here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Probably get a copyright strike for doing that music. All right, so let's. It's open. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to take the lock off. Here we go. Are you ready? Oh, wait. Last try. L21 says talcum powder. All right. You know what? I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds or so. Everyone put in your last guesses right now. Put in your last guesses what you think this is before I open this up. It's open to anybody. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be psychic, whatever. You can put in a guess. I want to see guesses. And then if you get it right, I will send you, there's a couple books. I have a copy of Joe Nichols in, what is it? Investigating the Paranormal. Actually, while I'm waiting for guesses to come up, I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to move Blinky out of the way and say, I have a copy of this book by Joe Nichols, Investigating the Paranormal. Highly recommend it. Awesome book. I have 3 books for kids. This is Elle, the Humanist. Elle is a sweet young girl that I got to meet at one of the SciCons out in Vegas. And this is her story about her journey because she's part of a secular family and she lives in an area that's highly religious. And it's how she interacts with her friends and how she copes with not believing the same things they do. And it's really, really good. If you have kids and you're not raising them to be like in a certain religion, I would highly recommend looking up this book and just ordering it and reading it. It's very simple read. It's a lot of pictures, very little text. Oh, it comes with stickers sometimes, but I'll give you a preview here. Let me get this comment out of the way. There we go. So very simple, good artwork, but very simple text. And then her older sister, Bailey, did 2 books, or actually 3 books, and I have 2 of them here. My name is Stardust, and Stardust explores the solar system, which is going around to the planets, and then Stardust explores Earth's wonders. Again, perfect for children. Perfect for children. And I was also going to throw in a button that says never stop learning. I'm going to try and come up with a contest anyway, because I do have these books to give away, so I really want to get some of them to you guys. So let's see. Where are my glasses? There are my glasses. All right. So some of the comments here are, let's see, talcum powder, firecracker. Hey, Robert. Donna says tarot cards. I think I should put a disclaimer that, normally I would put a disclaimer that she is like invalid. She can't guess because she's, part of the family, but I don't even tell her what is in it. And I lock it before she can even get a chance to see it. So her guesses would count. Bob says EVP recorder. Tommy says TV remote. Oh my God, lots of guesses. I love this. Carol says Star Wars action figure. I don't know if that would be in the rules because you do have to be specific. So I would have to know what figure. But that's not right anyway. So Coral says creepy Furby doll. They are creepy. WLFE. I think that's Teddy. It says pen pencil. Buster. What's up, Buster Williams? Dude, you got an awesome name. Yo, I'm Buster Williams. Sex lube. Interesting. Chanel. Oh, hello, Chanel. Ragdoll that's missing from your background. Oh, no, she's over here. Oh, wait. Unless you mean like do you mean Raggedy Ann? Because no, she's on the other side. All right. So the floppy disk you found? No, because that's actually right here. Let's see. Watch it be a planchette. It could be. Let's see. Eliza. Am I saying that right? Eliza? Isn't it obvious? Ghost debunking machine. Duh. John says Frankenstein's monster. Eric Harrison. Hey, Kenny. What's up, Eric? Saying hi to everybody. Okay, I think that's all the guesses. So None of you got it right. None of you. None of you got it right. So here we go. I'm going to open it in front of the camera so you can see. Open. Oh, look at that. It's a pack of cigarettes. None of you would ever guess that. Well, this side. Cigarettes. Actual pack of cigarettes. And no, I don't smoke. Just in case you were wondering. I actually had this pack because I do tests with smoke and photographs. Because I've caught a lot of people over the years smoking while ghost hunting and taking pictures of the smoke that they exhale or from their cigarette and posting it as paranormal evidence. So actually, I'm going to keep that out and do it again. All right, so we're at the end here. John Michael, you are the stereotypical cheater, fucker. What was the question? Eric, so I did a remote viewing challenge. I'm going to do it again because I definitely liked doing this. I forgot how much fun it was. So I think I'm going to try to do this like every other show and maybe put like next time I do the show, I'll put an object in there and start the contest and then reveal it the next show. So I think that's going to be part of it. It's going to be one of my segments. All right. So let me see. Everybody's like it. Cool. All right, cool. We are at the end of the show. I'm going to give you some announcements, some things coming up. Just definitely like this is like self-promotion, shameless plugs for myself. If you go to Skeptical Inquirer, one of the latest articles is a interview from Rob Palmer that he interviewed me and talked about it because I won this. Wait. Because I was elected a fellow with the Committee for Skeptical Inquirer, one of the newest ones. There were 10 people. I was one of the 10 that was elected to be a fellow, which is a great honor for me. And I was privileged to have Rob talk to me. He's actually a good friend of mine, and we did an interview together and tackled some questions, and hopefully you like my answers. So I definitely would suggest you go over to Skeptical Inquirer and check out that interview. I also recently did a interview with Thomas Westbrook at the YouTube channel Holy Kool-Aid. Great YouTube channel. I love what he does. Thomas is a real good guy. I met him about, I would say 4 or 5 years ago at SciCon, and we hit it off really good. Really nice guy, genuine guy. And one of my bucket list items after I met him was I wanted to be animated, because when he does interviews with people, he animates the person, and I really wanted to do that. So he asked me about a month ago a couple questions, and then asked if we could do an interview, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. And so that was cool. That was really cool. It's up there on his YouTube channel. Again, that's Holy Kool-Aid. If you look it up, it's the last one. About 3 days ago, I think it released. Really good interview. It's got positive reviews so far. And then recently, last night, a new episode of the podcast Squaring the Strange came out. That's Ben Radford, Celestia Ward, Pascal Romero. They do a show, and me and Ben actually went into a lot of investigative techniques, how we investigate mysteries, strategies we use, tips we rely on, things we look for, we don't look for, and this and that. Very good show, very in-depth. So if you're interested, please check that out too. Subscribe to them, guys. What else do I have? Tomorrow night, if you guys follow my channel, you know that I do 3 Tortured Souls on Saturday night with Tim Vickers and Dave Schumacher. Tomorrow night, all 3 of us have personal things that we have to attend. So there will be no show tomorrow night. We will continue the following weekend. So Saturday night, 8 o'clock, the following weekend, we will be back on. And I think, what are we doing? I forget the topic, but it's a good topic. It's a real good topic that deserves a lot of research. But unfortunately, some things came up some family issues and stuff that we have to take care of. So we won't be here tomorrow night. And then aside from that, December 6th, I will be doing a presentation for the Houston Oasis Secular Group. I don't know if that's public or not. It might be just for their group meeting, but I'll be doing a presentation about investigating mysteries. So hoping that that goes well. And if it's public, then I'll let you know. I'll post a link. Other than that, I don't have too much. If you definitely want to do, Christmas is coming up or holidays or whatever, if you're looking for gifts for people that are science-minded and they like scientific stuff and skepticism, then please visit my Teespring store at Scientific Skepticism at Teespring. And there's a bunch of designs. I'm going to try and add a couple more, but if you like any of them, please, purchase like, a dozen or so. Because all the money that goes from there comes to me. Whatever money comes to me actually goes back into this. It goes to keep this going. It goes to supply supply. Goes to the supplies I need to actually keep what I'm doing going. Like ghost hunting gadgets or attending lectures that are pay to play, ghost hunts that are pay to play, so I can continue to do my work through here and through Skeptical Inquirer. So I do appreciate that. And I think that's it. So let me look and just make sure I'm caught up. I love that, L21. Well, that's my career as a remote viewer. Don't give up. Don't give up. Like I said, I'm gonna make this a permanent part of the podcast because I really think that would be a cool thing to do. All right, so let's see. Are you kidding? Stupid Facebook. Well, yeah. Let's see. Eric says, what happens if someone gets it right, though, Kenny? So there is a prize. There is a prize. Right before you came on, I went through the prizes. I always offer a prize. This is an informal experiment, so it's not like, you get national news or like the CFIIG, which is like they have a $250,000 prize if you can prove you have paranormal powers. I don't have that, but I offer a prize. And this time it was 4 books from my own collection and a couple buttons. I was going to throw in a couple extra things, but I usually offer some kind of prize like that. When I go to conferences, I have a full set of collector action figures from Ghostbusters 2. So it's the whole team. It's the 4 guys. And it's action figures in the box, still sealed. And I usually offer that as a prize or something else, like any kind of artifact that I have that's, kind of cool. I offer it as a prize. And if somebody gets it, they win. And that's basically it. I mean, I don't really, like, even though in the rules, like I have the final say, if you actually said, hey, it's a pack of cigarettes, I'd be like, oh, fuck, that's it. You win. I would send you the prize, but I'd also want to talk to you more, and make sure that, like, was that actual, like, a random guess, or did you see something? And then we would go further with it, and really explore it. So, all right. So let me keep going. Hey, Tommy. He says, I'm here because of your interview with Thomas. Awesome. I'm glad you stopped by. And I actually hope it was worth it. I don't know if it is. I don't know if this was what you were expecting, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I mean, you're still here, so I'm hoping you enjoyed it. I really do. Bob says 0 tortured souls. Oh, yeah. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Once in a while, we do need a night off. And then, like this says special circumstances. So I won't get into it here, but we need a weekend off. So Coral says, Wicked scoring a strange episode. Just finished listening to it tonight. Great interview and some sage advice and puns. So many excellent puns. We do have fun. When I get to talk to those guys, it's so much fun. And it's one of those things that I say, like, it's a testament to how good relationships can be, like friendships, when you really don't get to meet the people. Like Ben Radford is, I met him once in person, one time, And that was years ago. But we've talked on the phone, we Skype. He's my editor for Skeptical Inquirer. So the articles that I publish on Skeptical Inquirer go through him and then another editor after him, but they go to him first. Celestia Ward, I've had the pleasure of meeting her twice at SciCon in Vegas because that's where she lives and works. So it was a real pleasure meeting her. Pascal, I haven't met him yet, and I really, really want to because I think we would have a great time together. He's actually helped me on at least one case, the Elvis Presley sighting in Home Alone. He was a great help with that, with his knowledge of the industry. So, but yeah, it's great being on that show because I can sit here and talk, and it's much harder because it's not video. When we do the interviews, it's all audio. So it's a little bit harder, but it flows so easy with them guys. Like we can talk for hours, and I know that show was edited down for time because I can talk, Ben can talk, and Celeste has really good questions, but me and Ben, we talk forever. And obviously because I'm like 16 minutes over my time slot here. But awesome show. Definitely, if you haven't subscribed to it yet, definitely subscribe to Squaring the Strange and Holy Kool-Aid, two great channels on YouTube. Or Holy Kool-Aid is on YouTube. Squaring the Strange is, you probably find it on any of your podcast things. So, all right. So let's see. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you, Kathy. Good night. Good night. Good night. Everyone's saying good night. You guys are also friendly. Hell 21 says, yes, really enjoyable and interesting stream. Good. I'm glad. I really try to, even when I'm just being a hack, like tonight, the theme was pretty much, I picked it like 2 or 3 hours before the show, and I did very little research. But I try to make it as entertaining as possible. And Tommy says it was good. I'm subscribed. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. Bob says, to be clear, I wasn't trying to be a dick with zero towards. Oh, I know. Don't worry, Bob. I know. I thought it was funny. Good night. Stay excellent. Good night. All right, cool. So with that, I'm going to sign off because I have nothing else to talk about. I mean, I have tons of things to talk about. Ooh, did you see my picture today? Magic dagger with a inscription. Look, it's got writing on it. If you follow my personal channel, you'll know what that is. I just wanted to show you. But anyway, good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Wear your fucking mask. Social distance. I know it sucks, but you got to do it. Be safe. Stay safe. I don't want anyone getting sick. But try to have fun and do what I do. Just stay drunk. Anyway, so with that, I'm going to end. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to say one last thing, and that is never stop learning. Good night.